Hey everybody, today I'm going to do a review, excuse me, of the Zoom G5, a new Stompbox multi-effects amp simulator by Zoom. And for the review I'll be using my Ibanez S770PB with just its stock pickups. I'm going direct into my PA. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. So basically what the Zoom G5 is it's, like I said, a Stompbox multi-effects amp simulator in one with a tube booster as well as an expression pedal. And I've seen lots of reviews and demos, people playing it, but I haven't seen anyone actually showing how you make patches and whatnot, because that's what I use it for. All the patches I'm going to be showing you right now are my own patches I've made. If you want to see me actually playing with the rhythm machine and looper and everything, you can go back to my main page and watch that, and you see me actually kind of demoing it. Today I'm more going to talk about how to make patches, how easy the interface is to use, and what I really think about it. So we're going to start this thing up. So basically about the construction, it's solid, nice and metal. Could probably drop a rock on it and it would be fine. It's very nice. Sides are plastic, but it's really not a problem. So there are basically two main modes that I jump back and forth between. This is the home mode, where each one of these correlates to a Stompbox or amp or rack mount effect. And then you press and hold this and you go to patch mode, where you can jump back around between patches. And each one of these patches is basically a 9-pedal pedal board kind of squished together into one patch. Talk more about that later. So we're going to go to home and show you how you actually edit different sections and stuff. So this one here I have as an amp simulator, and this is a Mesa Boogie, and each one of these knobs correlates to a knob down here. For instance, number 1 here is, you see, is with gain. So say I want to change the gain. I turn this, and then as you can see, it moves the gain. So, and there's also tube and level, but as you can see, there are numbers up here, 1, 2, and 3, which means that there are 3 pages. So if I go over, I hit the page button, I get 3 more knobs: treble, middle, and bass. I hit the page again, and I get the cabinet and the presence. So you have up to, I think, 3 pages for each. There's this is what, with the amp simulator on, this is kind of my heavy metal, really hard distortion patch, and this is what it sounds like. And then if I turn it off, also a little bit of delay on there. And then some things look a little bit different when you go into them. For instance, this looks a lot more like an equalizer. They're not necessarily knobs, so they change how they look as you go through. So basically the way that you choose effects is as so. You see, you just scroll over until you hit something that says through, or actually anything you can, but you just overwrite it. And basically you hit type, and you can go through it. At the beginning they have dynamic stuff, they have compression, gates, EQs. Go through, hit some like weird modulation things. You get to your distortions, all kinds of popular distortions they have here. You go through anything that starts with a Z, means it's made by Zoom. They have a bunch of really nice things here, including, if I slide over, their noise reduction over here is really great, the ZNR. So you go through, and then you hit, there's like an extreme distortion, I'll show you that later, acoustic simulator, and then you hit your amps. And go through your amps, tons of those, and you hit some tremolos, phaser kind of modulation stuff. Get to delay eventually. Oh yeah, before you get there, you hit some really weird effect kind of things. There's like a synthesizer and an organ. Haven't used those much yet, but go through and you hit your delay, eventually your reverb, and then as you go through, you hit dual effects, where they have 2 at one time, so you save yourself a little bit of processing power. Compression, overdrive for this, compression and phaser. And then you hit your different pedals here, wahs and vibratos and pitch pedals. So that's that. And now I will show you a little bit more with the patch mode. So patch changing is basically you just hit these buttons and you jump between patches. You can go up to a different bank by hitting 2 and 3 at the same time. You're on a different bank. You can jump around. I mean, I wish there were more than 3 patches per bank, but you get what you get. It's really not that bad. So that's that. And now move over, we have our tube booster, which is really nice. This is new, and basically, it does what it says. Boost and tone. You turn the boost, that's how loud it is. It goes up to 16 decibels. Supposedly, that's what they advertise. And tone, how trebly or bassy it is. So, as an example, that is without, and then this is with. And it might be hard to kind of hear that because my camera is probably compressing the audio right now. But it really had lots of power, a little bit more overdrive to it. It's really great. And then the last thing is the Z pedal, which basically sounds like this. Right now, I've customized my own Z pedal. This is kind of a wah sound. And then I also just have it so if I kick it to the right, it just turns off my volume, which is kind of useful if you're doing shows and you don't want to always have to turn off and on your volume knob. But here's an example of what you can really do with it. This is my solo effect. This is the crazy extreme distortion. I would never use this as a rhythm just because it's just so overwhelming. But I kind of have it as a wah up and down, and then jumps an octave to the right, and then drops down to infinity if I go to the left. So this is a little bit of what it sounds like. There we go. Was looking for the harmonic there. So that's a little bit of what the Z pedal does. Now, it also has, you can go up and hit total, and then you can change your chain of effects here for each patch level. What if you want to put in a control switch, that's for if you want your Z pedal to control one of their weird crazy preset effects. They have like a sitar simulator and weird spacey things. If you want that to do just that, then you want a wah as a separate thing, you can put that in and have that be a separate. Kind of on their G9.2 TT, they had the Z pedal and the regular expression pedal on the same pedal, but I guess they didn't have enough room or something for this. I don't know. And then if you hit global here, this brings you to the whole pedal as a whole. You have your level, your tempo, your signal path, whether it's going left to right or right to left, monitors, gains, output, whether you're doing direct or whether you're going to amp or whatever, and then your LCD brightness. And so, as well as all that stuff, this also has a tuner, like so. I think I'm out of tune, so this is going to be bad. You can change between bypass and mute, chromatic or guitar. You can change the calibration around 440 Hertz. That's what it just comes at. And then, that's what it looks like if you're, say, my E string is the only one in tune right now, I think. Yeah, all the other ones are sharp. And that's pretty self-explanatory. And then they also have the rhythm machine and the looper. The rhythm machine, basically you start it by pressing this button up here. And it just plays that. You can stop it by going like that. You can actually go to the looper and then loop over this. You can tap out the tempo. Say I'm doing a song that's a little bit slower. Actually, let me change the patch because that's going to sound terrible. Maybe you're doing something that's like and then it has to be at that tempo. Really nice. And then your looper, press and hold this button. Once again, you can put a rhythm on top of this, and you can watch me using it on a demo. You can have a fade out instead of just stopping it too, which is really nice if you're doing some ambient kind of music. So that stuff's really awesome. Now I'll go over the inputs on the back pretty quickly. So there's your guitar input, whether it's passive or active, whether you like if you have active pickups or if you have like other effects in the chain. Your left and right. Left is just for mono. I just do that right now because I usually just pan my guitar anyway because I play with 2 guitars. Headphones, pre or post effects, ground, whether it's lifted or connected, and then you're balanced out for DI use. I ran out of XLRs, so that's what I usually do if I had one. Control switch in, once again, for the expression pedal. USB for the interface. The interface works great. Mine did not come with a USB, but luckily I had one from another Zoom product, but I would look into that to make sure you have one. Then you're off, on, or eco, and eco is just basically on, except that it turns off after no use. So as a whole, I think the pedal is really awesome. I think there's some usage problems, like only 3 effects per bank and the whole scrolling thing. I think they tried to keep it too small, and it could have been a lot larger. Like the patch select buttons are really useful. If you want to stay in home and you want to turn on and off effects, you have to either press these patch select buttons, or you have to press and hold this button to go back and forth between the two, which is a little bit of a pain if you're jumping around between effects a lot. Ashbass makes a mod where you can change that, but overall, I think it's really awesome, trying to kind of put two worlds together, and it's a great value. It was like $300. So, a really great job to Zoom, but I don't think that they should be afraid to be a little bit bigger. So, also, I mentioned my band. We're on Facebook. We are in the process of recording an album right now. So when we're done with that, you can definitely go check us out. We'll make music videos and everything. We are called This End Up. Find us on Facebook and stay tuned as we talk more about the album. And thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the review. I also forgot to mention, I wanted to show more videos of me, or more sections of me, like playing some of my own patches, playing with some of the presets and some of the weird effects, but I was running out of time on my camera, so if you guys want to see anything else, I can do separate videos on more demos and more of that stuff, or whatever you want, questions or whatever, comment or let me know, and yeah, once again, thanks.